Good morning. I'm Rabbi Elaine Zecher of Temple Israel in Boston, and this is the Jewish Perspective. On this morning's program, grab your popcorn. We're going to the movies. It's time again for the annual Boston Jewish Film Festival. But we begin this morning with a very special guest who is the award winner of the Diller Teen Award, and his name is Max Davis from Stoneham, and he'll receive a $36,000 award to recognize his work for Kids Helping Kids, a project that helps homeless children. It's an honor for me to welcome you, Max, and we know each other because you're a member of Temple Israel of Boston, but here you're sitting as an award winner. So tell us about this award you won.
So I won what's called the Diller Teen Tikkun Olam Award, as you said, and it gives me a $36,000 grant to use for my education and for helping my cause, which was homeless youth, as you said.
And what got you interested in this particular area?
So a couple things. When my dad was a little kid, his mom, my grandma, fostered a young woman, and she had been an unaccompanied homeless youth, the people who I have helped. And she kind of inspired me because she told me her story. And that really kind of sparked an interest in this problem. And then I started hearing more and more about other people and what they've gone through, and it really touched me and made me want to work towards fixing this problem that is a very desperate need.
So you used the word Tikkun Olam, and I know that you know what that means, but tell us what you think it means and how that has to do with this work you're doing now.
So Tikkun Olam to me means making the world a better place in every way that you can. And so, I don't know, it's just kind of encompassing all of the morals that my parents and Temple Israel has taught me. Things like that.
How did you get started on this particular program to be then recognized by the Diller Foundation?
So actually in Temple Israel, as you know, we have a social action project for our bar and bat mitzvahs. And so that was one of the things that started me thinking what I wanted to do for my project. And then, as I said, my aunt talking to me and other things like that.
What do you think you've learned that you would want other students your age to know about engaging in this kind of Tikkun Olam project for themselves?
So if you're speaking about like what I did, so getting a law passed and talking to legislators and
well, tell us about that. Tell us that process.
So I went to the State House and talked to a lot of legislators about House Bill 135 at the time, which is now Chapter 450 of 2014. And I talked to them about the need and about how there were homeless kids who needed help. And they were really understanding, and what I would have said to the kids who are coming up, that I would recommend doing something like what I did, and looking for like a subject and trying to get something legislative or something else to like pass as a bill or something like that, because you get to learn how to speak to people in a more professional way and kind of things like that. But also you get to meet many new people, which is really kind of an awesome thing to do. These legislators, when I first met them, they were a little scary, intimidating, but once you get to know people and you start to like talk to them, they're just people. They're not monsters, anything like that. So,
that's good to know.
Yeah.
That they're not monsters. So you chose to go the legislative route. What impact do you think you had by going in that route in the work that you're doing?
Well, so one of the things that I wanted to do with my project was instead of making, so I called it a Band-Aid on the world, I tried to put some stitches in, I guess.
Okay.
So
Great.
try and make something more permanent.
Uh-huh.
And so a lot of kids, they do things that are extraordinary, like Special Olympics is one of the common things, and that's really cool. It gets to interact with people who are like special needs and things like that, and it's really nice. They get to make a lot of friends, but in the end, it reaches to some people, but it doesn't reach to as many people as it could. And so what I thought of was, with legislation, since there are almost 13,000 people in Massachusetts alone who are unaccompanied homeless youth, and the population is rising, then if I were to be able to help that, then it would make a bigger impact.
Did you find it hard to do this?
Yes and no. There were, of course, some challenges. Eventually, it just started to become kind of like a natural thing to do, like going to the State House. I think I went over 40 times. So after,
That's a lot of times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So after a while, things were a lot easier than at the beginning. But when you first start out, it's kind of difficult to understand some of the things, but you can really wrap your mind around it, and it's a lot easier.
So in winning this award, what went through your mind when you found you won this award?
So I actually found out the day before my 14th birthday.
Nice present.
Yeah, it was awesome. And I got a call from Orrin Stevens. He's an awesome guy. He works for the Diller-Teen-Tacona Alum Award.
Yeah.
And when he told me that I was one of the recipients, I literally started jumping up and down in joy. I was so happy. My immediate thought was just thinking about what I can do to help these unaccompanied homeless youth with that extra grant.
That's fantastic. And when you think about the money that's going to go, what's one of the areas that you want to work on with the money?
So what I plan to do with some of the money is donate it to an up-and-coming, it's a housing and services program, and it's starting a capital campaign. And so what I plan to do is sorry.
It's okay. You're doing great.
So some of the money that I'm giving will go to them, and they'll use that money to have other corporations match that, and then have kind of make a snowball effect. So one corporation matches that, and then they have another corporation match that, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And so then they'll be able to have the services that the unaccompanied homeless youth need.
Well, Max, you are a social justice hero for us all, and we are so grateful that you came on the show, and I think you can see why we wanted to learn, because we have a lot to learn from people like Max. So we're very proud of him from Temple Israel, and so glad that you're here. And we'll return with the annual Boston Film Festival after these messages.